Have you noticed the state of the chaos that the world is in currently? How could you not? We're all in it together and feeling the push and the pull and the tug, the extreme pressure that it is exerting on all of us. No matter where you look, which way you look, may it be in the social life, maybe the political scene, the financial or corporate, the science with its many dizzying discoveries, everyone is affected, and we're affected in countless ways. If you're poor, the challenges that come with lacking resources takes a hold of you. If you're wealthy, the anxiety of losing it all in the blink of an eye causes you to lose sleep. If you're religious, a ton of questions and uncertainty haunt you about your current beliefs. So all of us are caught in the turmoil of life, being swayed from one ideology to another, from one advocacy to the next. It all happens so quickly that we do not have the time to stop and think. Have you been on Times Square lately, or any other city for that matter? Everything is designed and set up in a way to entangle you into that frenzy of extremes and contradictory and contrary thoughts and ideals. We have live poster boards spewing the minute news about everything and really just about nothing at all. You have the constant illuminated boards enticing us to buy this or buy that, acquire this or acquire that. In a way, we are urged to participate, to be engulfed into the frenzy of contradiction and extremes. We're eventually pushed into a corner and are made to believe that we have to make a choice between plan A or plan B. However, in essence, whether you align with one side or the other, the consequences are the same. They are identical. There will be unhappy people on both ends, whenever how you splice it. That you can be certain of. And why? Because right or wrong, in this life we live in, are the different sides of the same coin. Think about it. That is the era of Aquarius for you. Do we have the choice to move away from it all? That is what we would like to explore with you today. In this presentation, we will talk in some depth about the phenomena that is the Age of Aquarius, so as to understand it, and also we will delve into the past eras and their influences in the world we live in. We will also venture further in defining the effect that the Aquarius era has over the world and mankind.
Aquarius. What is the age of Aquarius? Aquarius is one of the 12 constellations in the Zodiac. And the question, what is the Zodiac? The Zodiac is a group of constellations in our universe. And if we look at the universe all around the Earth, if we look at it from the Earth, then it is divided into 12 groups or 12 sectors of the universe, out of which different sets of energy or radiation comes. And if you go into astrology, that makes up the 12 zodiacal signs. And astrology knows there are differences. And to explain the geometry of this, we have to imagine looking from the sun through the moon, and then we see what zodiacal sign is behind the moon. The energy coming from the zodiac for all around us is all the same coming to the Earth. But the information or the radiation or the influence is coming through the moon. The moon in that acts like a magnifying glass. And so this is a very simple way to explain for a moment that the stars or planets act like a magnifying glass if they sit between the Earth and a certain sign. And that's what makes up astrology. the sun does the same. So the moon travels through our zodiac in 30 days, through the entire zodiac, traveling around the earth, or every 2 and a bit days through one of the signs. The earth going around the sun is traveling in 1 month through another sign, and it's the same thing that between the earth and the zodiac sign the sun is placed. And so whatever sign the sun is in front of, the sun acts as like a magnifying glass to amplify those influences. And so then this would be a dominating influence over the influences that are out of the background. If you look at our entire solar system, all planets are placed between the Earth and a certain zodiac sign, and therefore they all have influences, and that's what the people use to make horoscopes, which include more than the sun, which is for the months. If we zoom out even more, we see that our Earth and our planetary system belong to a larger system called our galaxy, and our solar system is placed in one of the arms of the galaxy. And what we see when we look out into the night sky is the Milky Way, that this is one of the arms of the galaxy. And our galaxy also rotates, and it has a sun, a center of the galaxy. And the rotation of the galaxy makes up the 25,000 years it takes for one rotation. And if you divide up the 25,900 years into 12 zodiac signs, that means one zodiac sign lasts about 2,000 years. And again, that is made up like our planetary system in the zodiac has those influences all around, but the center of the the center of the galaxy would be in front one of the signs in the zodiac, which is very far away. And so as the planetary system on one of the arms of the galaxy moves around that sun, it appears as if that sun moves through the zodiac, and that lasts about 2,000 years. So the Age of Aquarius, which we have entered or about to enter, and there's an overlap between the previous and now, and so there's always overlap between the different ages. They're not just cut off. We are now more and more into the Aquarius influences. Some of the signs in the zodiac before our time, now we are in Aquarius, and before Aquarius there was the Pisces era, which lasted for about 2,000 years, starting with the beginning of our time. Some of the characteristics of those times were that of the Pisces era is the era of power and control, but also of devotion. So you had the big religions start, the Christian religion, and it was characterized by devotion. Between that and the control and the power struggles of the days, a lot of old knowledge was lost. That's also a characteristic of the Pisces era. Aries was before, so it was from the beginning of our time, 2,000 years going back. That was the Aries era, which lasted about 2,000 years. And that was characterized by the age of the law and the stronger rules. Before Aries was the era of Taurus. And in the Taurus era, that was characterized by nomad people starting to settle down, and agriculture started, and so on. And the Gemini period was back to 6,000 years back. That was also the era of the Persian culture, and one of the characteristics of this time was that writing started. Some of the characteristics of the Aquarius era, or the water bearer, is that our inner growth is less dependent on traditions. You can see that in the young people, a lot of young people do great things, special things, and they are totally disconnected from tradition, or they do what they want. Another one would be a thirst for knowledge. And we can see that in the last 100 years, the knowledge that is accumulated and people are looking is immense. Revealing of everything. These times during the Aquarius era, everything is being revealed. Nothing stays hidden. You can see in our world stage that all skeletons are coming out of the closet right now. And the personality in this Aquarius era experiences bigger extremes or bigger resistances. And that is mostly due to us not necessarily responding positively to the Aquarius influences, and therefore we are experiencing that as hindrance or resistance. This vast universe is manifested through dynamic opposites. It is linked with everything, is linked with everything, everything transcends into everything.
Now that our friend talked a bit about the eras leading to the Age of Aquarius and its influence on the world and mankind, we will now explore further and discuss about what the school of the goldenrosycross proposes that we as human beings do about this formidable revolution coming our way. What is our role? Can we be a part of the solution? Each and every one of us is individually called to action. And as Bob Marley sang it so aptly, no one but ourselves can free our minds. There are no gurus, there are no masters that have the ability to place themselves as intermediary between us and the Logo, between us and the Most High, the Gnosis.
The next section of our presentation is the goldenrosycross teachings and the steps to becoming an Aquarius being. What we talked about earlier, and especially running into resistances as part of the Aquarius influences, we all are experiencing pain, we are experiencing limits, we are experiencing opposites. And when we experience pain, or when we have pain, we want to get rid of that pain. So we start looking, we get restless, we look for solutions. And life experience, good or bad, painful or not painful, it still confronts us with facts. And in this looking asks us to think, to deal with our problems, and this unrest eventually leads to longing for change, and this longing or yearning will lead to an openness for change. When we're open for change, we're open for ideas, we are open for other opinions, and that leads to insight eventually. And inside, that liberation from all of this is not an automatic process, but that it very much depends on how we live, how we think, how we process experiences, and how we allow changes to take place. And that also will develop the fact that the self realizes, our self will realize its place in all this, and surrenders voluntarily to a process. And that's the process that leads to the new mode of life. And this new mode of life, in this new mode of life, we will take a totally different position to all the events in the world, and also to life experience. And in this new mode of life, we will process experiences differently, and we will learn differently from certain experiences. We will learn to see certain events from several different angles and not only from our own opinion. We will still have opinions, but we will be able to see that these opinions are not carved in stone. We will be able to see how other people see certain things. And this will eventually lead to the birth and the growth of the new soul.
I remember a few years back, I took my children to Disney World. At that time, they were fairly young and impressionable. So I took them on a make-believe roller coaster ride. So we were told by the engineer maneuvering the makeshift ride that we had to buckle up our seatbelts, look straight ahead, no peeking from side to side, keep our feet off the ground. So we were about to take off. A slew of fast-paced, mostly scary objects were coming at us in this virtual space. It was coming from a huge screen, and from time to time, we felt as though we were flying aimlessly and helplessly in the galaxy with meteors nearly crashing onto us. There were screams of excitement and all, terror and all around. You know how it is on roller coaster ride. Then for 1 second, I looked down for just 1 second, and I put my feet down on the ground, realizing that though I knew deep down that all this was an illusion to keep us amused, frightened, and out of sorts, all I needed to do was unfasten my seatbelt and walk away from it, if I so chose. That is what we are inviting you to do with us. Unfasten your seatbelts. Break away from the chains that keep us prisoners of the whirlwind that we are in. And look for the love, the peace, hope, and new consciousness that the era of Aquarius has promised to bring. Look deep down within, where the ground is not shaking and the wind is not blowing you away. Connect with the steady stream, the steady call within you. Dare to listen. Listen to the voice, the lotus, the rose of the heart, the divine spirit spark within. Each of us are called to be catalysts of the change we would like to see in this world. The era of Aquarius is inviting us, or rather pushing or even dragging us to accomplish that inner revolution. It is so urgently needed for this change to take place. The School of the Goldenrosycross proposes a middle path, a path of active neutrality, where you're given the opportunity to turn your attention away from the overwhelming chaos and understand the message that is hidden beneath all of this. The work to be done is at once individual and collective. Each one of us is given the opportunity to allow the transformation to take place within us. In that way, as a collective, we will change ourselves and the world around us in the process. Because what is happening around us, in many ways, mirrors what is happening within us. Thank you for your time.